This is Old Man Charles underscore X34 here with you with another video in which today I'll be talking about a very interesting subject today. It will be about how some people on the autism spectrum have a hard time completing or continuing a conversation or ongoing social situation in a way that allows things to further develop socially, because mentally I always have this tendency to always cut off a conversation or trying to end it quick because I run out of things to say in the conversation. So I just go blank or or just run out of things to say, like I said before. And honestly, I do hit those points where I run out of things to say completely, or that's completely normal for what everyone else does in the conversation. But have you ever encountered a situation where you're a person on the autism spectrum and you have a hard time finishing a conversation? Because usually when I text or speak to people, I would just like their text and I would leave them on read. I think some people take it personally when I leave them on read on DMs or Facebook or text, and in all seriousness, I don't mean it in a personal way. I'm not dissing you or anything like that. It's just that I run out of things to say, and I don't really have a train of thought of how to finish the conversation or the subject you're talking about, because it's like trying to make more sequels of a movie. At some point, you're trying your best to keep the movie sequels going, but at some point, it's not going to mix. And you just got to end it or try to show some sign of that you acknowledge what they said by liking the comment. And honestly, I do have a hard time finishing a conversation a proper way. So it's kind of like, alright, how do I finish this conversation? How do I keep this conversation alive? I'm not really a huge basketball fan myself, but this is how I'm going to explain it to people on the autism spectrum. And those of you that are not basketball fans or know the game, I'm sorry. But this is how I'm going to explain it. You have your center, a person that knows both people. The other doesn't know the other. But the middle guy, middle person, keeps the conversation going and elevates the three people in an ongoing conversation that keeps the conversation alive. Have one common subject that you're talking about. All three of them have to have some relation to the subject you're speaking about and keep it going and going. And when you talk about something you're passionate and enthusiastic about, you can have really good amounts of socialization for quite a long period of time instead of running out of things to talk about. And I know some people don't like to talk about the same subject multiple times, especially when it's a subject they gotta get annoyed about talking about. And being on the autism spectrum myself, I do have the tendency to bring up old material just to talk to someone, because either I enjoy their company or I just like talking to them, and I just can't figure out new material to talk about socially. So if you're a person on the autism spectrum and you run out of social subjects or just start a conversation, I think it'll go more smooth when you speak to the people that know you personally, that care about you, and you really have no issue, because you can't force the music. You gotta let the music flow through you. Like I tell every person on the autism spectrum, you can't make the lyrics beat. You gotta let it flow through you. Just flow with the beat. Get what I'm saying, everyone? Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I really hope this video and all this advice I'm giving you right now benefits you, and in a way, if you're an adult with a autistic child, or if you're an autistic adult or an autistic kid, or whatever your situation is that involves the autism spectrum. I really hope this video benefits you and makes sense to you in a way. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not an expert, but just speaking from personal experience in my opinion. And hope you guys have a good night or wherever you are in the world. Ciao.